Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Oh my god. Okay. My heart is legit racing out of my chest right now. Oh my god. What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Angela, and I'm back with another video. It's been a minute, and I know I always come back with a ton of excuses, and honestly this time is no different. I have been talking about this video for weeks now, and I had previously filmed it about 3 weeks ago, and then I had a bit of a family emergency and I had to put the video on hold. And instead of just updating an update video and making things super confusing, I figured I would just refilm the whole thing and give you guys the most current, up-to-date update, if that makes sense. So 3 weeks ago when I filmed this, I filmed it as a get ready with me. I did my makeup and I wanted to film it again the same way because I don't want my channel to turn into like this drama channel where I'm doing nothing but talking about people and like reading them for filth every time I sit down in front of you guys. But when I tried to sit down again and film this just a few days ago, I couldn't get through it without crying and putting on foundation and concealer and all of that while crying it all off just wasn't the move. So I just figured it would be more appropriate for me just to sit down and talk to you guys one-on-one, heart-to-heart, and hopefully this is the last video of its kind for a while because it's really stressful filming these, and I'm just really nervous doing it. So when I originally filmed this video, I talked about how I was going through it in my love life and with my friendships, and my mom was going through it as well. She had just lost her cat, and I said in the video that I don't know how she's coping because I don't know what I would do if I lost one of my dogs. And unfortunately, a week later, my dog Zuko passed away. And that's one of the reasons why this video has taken so long for me to put up, because it was just too difficult to talk about. And I promised myself I wouldn't cry, but here I am. My dog Zuko had a collapsed trachea for most of his life, which made breathing for him extremely difficult. And he was always in and out of the vet. They would prescribe him an antibiotic for his respiratory infections that he would get, a steroid, and a cough syrup to help him with his cough. And that was just kind of the norm for us, and it was something that was managed because my vet felt like he wasn't a good candidate for stent surgery, which would basically open up his trachea. So he was constantly in and out of the vet. So about 3 weeks ago, I took him to the vet for the exact same thing. He was coughing, he had some phlegm, and they prescribed him the same thing. A few days later, instead of getting better, he got worse. And so I brought him into the vet for an emergency visit. And unfortunately, he never came home. He was actually transported to an overnight facility where they admitted him for what they thought was going to be 4 days. And unfortunately, he didn't even last 4 hours because after we dropped him off, his heart stopped, and then they were able to revive him until we were able to rush over to the hospital, and he died in my arms, unfortunately, on July 23rd. Oh my God. And if you've never had a pet, it's hard to explain this type of loss. I know a lot of people are like, well, it's just a dog, it's just a cat, but like, pets provide this unconditional love. They never get into a fight with you. They don't marry an they don't get divorced from you. They don't turn into rotten children. Like, literally, they are the most pure beings on this planet. And Zuko was like a son to me, and I miss him very, very much. And I hope he's in heaven with my other dog, Princess, who passed away about 10 years ago. And I hope he has all the chewies and bones in the world. But a few days ago, I posted on my story that I have his ashes in this cremation urn, and a lot of you guys are asking where I got it, so I'll link it down below. It's just very comforting for me to have him close to my heart. I never want to take it off. Like, this is actually the first time I'm crying since I got this, because this has helped me so much. It's brought a lot of peace and comfort to me. So If you have experienced a loss like this, or you have your pet cremated, this definitely helped me, so maybe it'll help you. So this video is for Zuko. Love you, Zoo. I miss you so much. Oh my gosh, I need to stop. Hey, Zuko. Your tongue is hanging out. Your tongue. He forgets sometimes. But one of the first people I reached out to when Zuko passed was Nelson, and I feel like we've kind of, for the past year, have been each other's comfort blanket. He literally called me this morning because he wasn't feeling good. Like, we just run to each other when things are going on in our lives, which isn't necessarily healthy right now because we are no longer together. And I know a lot of you guys have been asking, oh, what happened with Nelson? What's your relationship status? And no, we are not together. I'm not gonna get into too much what happened. I already did a video on this. I'll link it down below if you guys want to watch it. I do feel like I was much kinder in that video than I should have been because he did hurt me emotionally in a lot of ways. My breaking point was when I woke up one morning super randomly and I asked myself, would 12-year-old me be proud of the woman I am today? And in every other aspect in life, the answer would be yes. But as far as my relationship went, I did not feel happy, and I didn't feel like 12-year-old me would have been proud of the way I was letting myself be treated. So that's when I knew I had to go. But before I get a ton of DMs coming to me woman to woman with screenshots of this and that, he is very much so single. I am very much so single. If you are talking to him, don't come to me and ask me if I'm talking to him. I don't care. I have been dating and getting to know other people myself, and it's really, really weird because he was the only person I was with for a year. Like, I was loyal before I even was wifey, which is, I think, the biggest mistake you can make in a relationship. And then I kind of like used that against him because he wasn't in the beginning, but he's the first to admit that he made a huge mistake. And you know, he did put me through hell for a while. At the end of the day, he was like my family. We each don't have much family, so we were like each other's best friends, and it's hard to let that go. So we'll see what happens. I take everything day by day, and that's that. Me being so back and forth with Nelson has caused a lot of turmoil in other relationships in my life. Speaking of it affecting my other relationships, a lot of you guys have asked me what happened with me and my ex-best friend, and I'm not going to use her name in this video for lots of reasons. Okay, so this is the doozy. Okay, I need to get comfortable for this one. So we shall call her Veronica. So me and Veronica were friends for a year and a half. We pretty much did everything together. We traveled together. I would hang out with her. She was like my person, my best friend, yada, yada, yada. On one of our trips, we went to Tampa. It was supposed to be a fun weekend where we took a bunch of pictures, shot content, partied, had a good time. And it was during that time we met up with one of my other castmates, and we will call him, I don't know, we'll call him Steve. Okay, so we met up with Steve at this pool party. The second I got to the pool party, Steve pulled me to the side and was pretty much talking my ear off about reality TV and how he admires what I do on TV and on social media. And I'm always the first person to give advice. Like, I feel like there's enough success to go around. I'm definitely not greedy. I will give you whatever contacts you need to get ahead. That's just who I am. But I should have known that was a sign of who he was because of the things that transpired later on, but we'll get there. At this pool party, I'm getting drunk. Nelson posted a tweet about me. It triggered something in me, and it was actually a very nice tweet, but I took it the wrong way because I thought that he was just looking for attention. He wanted to let girls know that he was single. So I started to use Steve to make him jealous. And I went on Steve's story, Steve was on my story, and it just kind of all snowballed from there. And I'm sure a lot of you are thinking like, okay, well, if you claim that Steve is such a clout chaser and he used you for this and that, then you also used him to make Nelson jealous, and you would be absolutely right. But the only difference is I'm not riding on somebody else's coattail to further my career. I would have done the same thing at a local bar. If I had never been on TV and my ex walked in, I'm grabbing the first guy I see to make him jealous, okay? Like, that's just who I am as a person. Don't add me. Steve is kind of like all over me. I'm all over him. We're just having a good time. Okay, then at some point, Veronica saw that I was texting Nelson, and she did not like this. Now, I will say this. Veronica had been through every up and down that I've had with Nelson. She did not like him. She did not think that I should be talking to him. And as my friend, you can give me your advice, you can give me your opinion, but you're not going to tell me what to do. And she just did not understand that. So at this pool party, she was literally wrestling me for my phone, trying to prevent me from texting him, and actually starting to fight with me about texting him. And I know how annoying it must be to deal with your friend that has such a wishy-washy up and down relationship. Like, I totally get it.
Oh Lord. Again. Again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old same old.
But again, you're not going to tell me what to do. Then she continues this tirade on our way back to the house that we were staying at. And we're arguing in the Uber, and in the midst of all my arguing, Steve shows me his phone, and it's like a nude of him, and I'm like, ew, that's gross, it's weird, like don't do that. But apparently he's like known for that, you know, it's weird. So there's a lot happening. We get back to the house that we're staying at, and Veronica continues to give me an attitude, continues to fight with me. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, this has nothing to do with me and Nelson. Now, this is where things took a left turn. I had been essentially ignoring her the entire way, just kind of brushing her off, thinking that she would get over it. And I guess that bothered her even more, because when we got back to the house, she decided to go off on me completely. And we are not alone. We are with Steve and his friend. What she does is she goes,
okay, Angela, go talk to the guy that did this, that, and that to you.
And she makes some wild accusations. Now, I have confided in her with a lot of things. Every time that me and Nelson would get into a fight, I would talk to her, she would calm me down. That's why she was so over the situation. But in the back of her head, she was just collecting all of these notes over the past few months that I was with him, just to throw in my face in an argument. This is so random, but like, Bria, I don't know if you guys know her from Are You the One? She posted a tweet that said something like, you'll really find out what somebody thinks about you in an argument by all the hate they spew out, and those people are not your friends. And that's exactly what happened with Veronica. She literally went off on me with everything from Nelson, Maya, Janelle, just everything, like word vomit. And I really found out what she thought about me, and that was really, really sad. And I would have been upset if she just did it one-on-one with nobody else around, but the fact that she did it in front of other people whose business it was definitely not, and I didn't know them from a hole in the wall. Like, yes, I had filmed the show with Steve, but he wasn't one of my good friends. I don't know what he's capable of, which I later found out what he is capable of when I got home, and he pretty much repeated everything that she said on Twitter and started this whole Twitter war, but we'll get there. So I am dumbfounded that my best friend would literally just spew out all of this personal stuff that I had been going through. And so I didn't even know what to do. I ran away to the bedroom. I was crying. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I was being a huge pussy. Like I ran to the bedroom and I was in my feelings. She thought it would be a good idea to follow me to the bedroom and taunt me. She told Steve not to comfort me because Steve went into the bedroom to make sure I was good. I really appreciated him in that moment. And she did not like that. That angered her even more. So she was standing outside of the room screaming,
she deserves this. Let her cry. She brought this upon herself.
Just going off. So I open the door and I take matters into my own hands. And by own hands, I mean, and she got that bippity boppity boop that she was so desperately begging for, and Steve pulled me off of her, and that was it. I guess she had gone into the other room and she was shocked that it even got there, but honestly, you're not exempt from these hands. No one is. If you deserve it, you deserve it. And I felt like in that moment she did, and she learned right away not to fuck with me. I don't care who you are, like, no. So Steve closes the door, calms me down. He couldn't believe what she had done. He was like,
oh my God, she's only doing this because I don't want her. She's jealous of you. No one would know her if it wasn't for you. She's a clout chaser. She's jealous of you. I'm not even into her like that.
He basically trashed her, everything from her personality to her looks, her body type, literally everything. And again, that should have been another sign not to trust him, because who talks that way about a female? you know? So he leaves the bedroom to go talk to her to calm her down, and apparently she was saying that she could fuck me up if she wanted to. I'm sorry. Hold on, I have to get the giggles out. So she was saying that she could fuck me up if she wanted to. I mean, that's what he told me later on that night, that she was saying all these things, and she took it upon herself to begin packing my stuff. Now, if she did this in the Bad Girls Clubhouse, she would have been laid out like a pancake yet again. But I gave it to her, whatever. She helped me pack up my stuff. Pack up my stuff, peasant. I'm trying to leave here anyway. I gather my belongings and I head out the door. Steve orders me an Uber, takes me to the airport. Not only takes me to the airport, but also sits down, has dinner with me, gets me a hotel room to make sure that I have a place to stay for the night, and stayed with me until I fell asleep, which I was really, really appreciative of. I'm like, finally I found a friend that's genuine. Like, I can't believe my best friend just did this to me. I'm so happy I have him here. He waited until I fell asleep. We did not hook up that night, nothing. He left, actually pretended to fall asleep. Then as soon as he left, I got up and called my mom and booked a different flight so I could leave earlier in the morning. Like I said, me and Nelson are each other's comfort blankets, and this situation was no different. I pretty much ran to him as soon as I got home. He came to New Jersey to see me, and I told him everything that happened. I did kiss Steve in Tampa, and I was very open and honest with Nelson about that. He obviously didn't like it and proceeded to take it to Twitter and fight with Steve. But in Nelson's defense, Steve had been picking at him on everywhere from Instagram stories to tweets, basically insinuating that we slept together, which is completely false. It was in this moment that I was like, okay, this person is using me and Nelson for clout, period. And then at the end of the whole Twitter battle, when me and Nelson were just like, we're not even gonna give this guy any more attention, he literally texted Nelson and was like,
hey, that was fun, we should do this again next week and I'm gonna get a show off of this, so haha.
Like, no, that's not how this works. I'm almost flattered that people use me for clout, because I don't feel like I'm that famous at all, and I'm definitely not. I'm really nobody, and I can't get you a show. Newsflash, like, if I could get anybody a show, I would get my friends' shows first. You feel me? So it's just like really weird to me that some people use other people's success and popularity to get ahead. And it's always the people that do reality TV for like 5 seconds, like they have one scene and then they're like kicked off the show, and they realize that they didn't get their time to shine, so they're going out of their way to get another show. And I feel like Steve is that person, and his ex has been warning us about it for a minute and no one listened, including myself. Called it, she was right. It is what it is, and we are moving on with our lives. And I have chosen not to address it until now, because it's like, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. In that moment, if I continue to fight with him, I am just giving him exactly what he wants. I'm giving him the clout that he so desperately was begging for. And if I don't, and I back out of this Twitter fight, I lost the fight. He still brags about getting into Twitter fights with reality TV people. It's really corny and it's really weird. As much as it irks me to talk about him, I had to show what Veronica said and did, and how that was like a domino effect in my life. I know he's gonna go off and, you know, try to defend himself, and even though I didn't use his name, he's going to tell everyone it's about him because he just wants the attention. And this is why MTV needs more bad girls, because I feel like when bad girls have beef, it's legit beef and it's real, and that beef is forever, and we're not trying to fake drama to get on another show. Well, actually, I take that back, because there are these two sisters that do it all the time, but they're really non-factors because they're like banned from MTV right now. But I feel like for the most part, like, bad girl drama is real. So MTV, stop casting these weirdos that try to fake drama. Like, we need some more bad girls, I'm just saying. So that's the story about what's been going on in my relationship, my friendships. But I don't only want to talk about the negative relationships in my life. I have to give a shout out to Rachel and Steph, who I've been friends with for legit years. Steph I've been friends with since middle school, and she has been through every relationship I've ever been in, and she's never gotten sick of me, and she's never repeated any of my prompts, okay? So take notes, Veronica, because you got a lot to learn. Same thing with Rachel. I've been friends with Rachel since college. She's another one that just supports me no matter what, who if I called her in the middle of the night, she's picking up the phone, she's dropping whatever, and legit my best friend. Maya and Janelle have legit been my rocks throughout all these situations. I could be on the phone for hours with them and they don't get sick of me, they don't get sick of my problems, and I appreciate that so much. I literally have the best group of friends I could possibly ask for, and I just feel like this past year has been about God exposing and revealing the fakes and showing me who is deserving of being in my life, and right now I feel really happy where I'm at. I will say that this year has been both the best and worst year of my life, and I'm coping in many ways. I have been meditating, and I was always just like, keep that hippie shit away from me, like what is that? But I have been like meditating and collecting crystals, and all that has been helping me. I've also been going to the gym more and keeping up with more of a routine, and that has helped me stay centered and stay focused on my goals, because that's what all this is about. I am learning and growing every day, but at the end of the day, I only have myself, and I need to make sure that I am good. But I hope I answered all of your questions, and hopefully I never have to mention these people ever again, because I don't want to. Just as a little, disclaimer before I get off of this video, I am not trying to victimize myself or villainize anybody that I've mentioned. I do not want you to get off of this video and then go and harass them or anything like that. That's not the point of this video. I just wanted to give you guys an update and share my experience if you're going through something similar. I was not the perfect girlfriend. I was not the perfect friend, but at the same time, I would have never done what they did to me, so it hurts. But we are growing and we are learning and we are doing better every day, so whatever. It's fine. Everything will be fine. The whole room is on fire, but it'll be fine. But thank you guys for watching and listening to me whine yet again. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Everybody that has reached out since my dog's passing, I wish I could reach out to you guys individually and thank you guys and show you how appreciative I am to each and every one of you individually, but that would be impossible. I've gotten so many messages. Just because your message doesn't show that I opened it, I did. I read every single one of my DMs. I'm just so thankful. Most blessed person I know, no matter what I go through, and I wake up every day and am just thankful to live another day. I hope you guys do the same exact thing, because life is too short to be worried about all of these other people. That's it. I'm about to lose my voice and this ponytail is giving me a headache. So
I'm out of here.
I am going to end this video right here. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.